Hey guys, so I made a video earlier in my car, right? Which I was planning to upload. But then I decided, you know what? No, I'm gonna make one now. I feel like making one now. So who knows? I might upload two videos. I might just upload this one or the other one. Who knows what you'll find? But today was just kind of meh. You know when you just like feel bad, just kind of shit for no reason. That was me today. And I saw something on TikTok, of all things, where you should enjoy your life, right? And that sounds so simple, but so many people, including myself, just go from the one thing to the next thing, right? It's always progress, progress, progress. And I've been kind of LARPing the whole time now that, like, take it slow, take it easy. It's okay if you fail here, and which it is, right? But I haven't really fully been feeling that okayness, right? And it's hard to explain how I've forgotten the fact that you can speak something into existence, but it takes practice, right? The only way I'm going to constantly feel good about myself is by constantly telling myself I'm good enough. Simple as that, right? You are just your mind. Outside of your body, your entire existence, okay, maybe not your soul, depending on what you view it as, but your sense of self is purely in your mind. So it's only logical if I say that if you want to grow, it starts from the mind, right? And I've just had this constant feeling that I'm just like, even though I feel okay, I'm not as okay as I should be. And I'm not enjoying life as much as I should be, right? But I could never put the pin on it, right? I could never mark it down exactly why I was feeling less than I thought I should, right? And it just came to me that I just need to let go, man. Like, it sounds so simple, but it kind of stresses me out almost to just like not care, right? And I feel like not caring is not a good way to put it, but it's the only way I could think of right now in which to put it. I think what I'm trying to say is just don't deep things. Don't take things deeply, right? If you had a bad day or you had a bad week or a bad month or a bad year, right? When you go through troubled times, it's very easy. It's human nature to get sucked into it and never escape. Because we're wired that way. And we're all funnily enough, we're all very, very comfortable with the feeling of one way or another of self-loathing, right? Of self-hatred. We're all very comfortable with it because it's pushed onto us very subtly. You won't go onto YouTube and just see people saying your life is worse than mine, you should hate yourself. But in an age where we are more connected than we've ever been, we are so lonely, right? I can quite literally have an open view of someone else's life. Now, realistically, me and you, we don't have the time to look at someone else's life, right? I saw a video of a guy in Nepal that climbed Mount Everest, and you've got to see the top, and I was like, but I didn't climb the mountain, right? Why am I seeing the top? I don't deserve to see the top, right? And what social media does is it gives you this false sense of accomplishment, right? And vice versa, it gives you a false sense of inferiority. Because you get the initial feeling when you're watching someone or something that feeling as if you yourself have achieved that thing. And then you scroll or you turn off your phone or your PC or whatever. Then you come back to reality and you're like, damn, I really didn't hit 140 kilograms on bench. I didn't hike today. I didn't swim across the Atlantic. Right? I didn't open up a dog charity, for example. But we're constantly consuming media that has no correlation at all with our lives. And that's, in my opinion, is the worst thing you could possibly do to yourself. Like, have you actually taken note of your screen time? All right? For me, it's about 5 hours a day, right? Which is, it doesn't sound like a lot, right? But you got to remember, most of us are only awake for 14 hours a day, right? 5 hours, that's more than a third, right? And some people I know are like 8 hours. That's more than half your day, most likely looking at other people's lives or talking to other people about their lives. And that's why I think I just need to delete social media, right? And everyone at some point has said, I need to delete social media. But this time, it's from a whole new point of realization as to why I need to delete it, right? And I talked about this in the video I made in my car, is that, I'm gonna speak about it now. Sure, I'll upload this video. Is I'm so grateful to have the problems I have. A lot of people, including myself 3 years ago, I feel like most people felt like there was something missing from their life. And most of the time, that was what they perceived as their purpose. I don't think someone has a set purpose for life. I think most people have multiple facets of purposes, right? Some bigger than others. But a lot of people just they can't pinpoint exactly what they need to do. And this is a tricky thing. You always think about what you want to do, right? The person you want to be. But you never, ever have that feeling where what you wanted to do is what you needed to do, right? With me, alcoholism, the weight gain, the loss of friends, the loss of connection with family, that gave me a very clear, defined purpose and a very clearly defined image of who I want to be, right? Because when you find out exactly who you don't want to be, it's very easy to put in place the steps to become the person you want to be. Because now, whoever you don't want to be, the opposite of that is who you want to be, right? I took everything that I did last year, all the people I heard, including myself, and I used that as a kind of, like, you know, like Stalin's 5-year plans, right? If you did history, it's like that, right? I had a clear idea now, and I think I've talked about this in a video before, where me specifically, I don't know if this is common for other people, I haven't asked them, but you get to a point where you almost wish that something catastrophically bad will happen to you to give you that drive to become better, right? I ironically got the easy way, right? Most people in the West, right? First world countries, even South Africa, right? You get the odd few. A lot of people's lives in those countries are just good enough where they don't feel the urgency, the real urgency to change, right? Now, I thought I understood this urgency and I had this urgency before, but when you get to a place like I was, right, and I'm just like the tip of the iceberg, dude. I wasn't even drinking alcoholically for a year, right, before I caught it. But shit got fucked up very quickly, man. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. I got that traumatic experience, but I really didn't lose anything, right? Not that much. And people just don't have that. Their life isn't bad enough for them to feel the life or death decision of who they want to become. Because my options were, I either go to rehab, reconnect with my friends, reconnect with my family, start going to school again, study something that I want, like get back into the rhythm of it, or carry on drinking and I die at like 20 something from liver cirrhosis, right? With no friends, no family, no nothing. When you have those two polar opposite images of yourself or options, right? It's very, very easy to pick the right one, right? It's like, do you want a birthday cake or do you want your leg chopped off? Of course, I'm going to take the birthday cake, right? There was just no room for the what if I could maybe do this, maybe like cheese my way through it. No. It was this or that, dude. And I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity. If anyone were to ask me, would I go back and change anything? I'd say no. This has been the calmest and most calculated and the most driven I've been in my entire life. My entire almost 20 years of being in existence. And it's a different kind of drive. It's not the we go gym, hate your, you know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean. It's not like that. It's just the consistent attempt. Because I know exactly what I need to do to become exactly who I think I need to become. Right? And every day it's just I'm in my mind and I'm just I should be feeling good. I'm speaking well to myself, but I'm just feeling like shit, right? And I think the reason why I feel so bad and the reason why you might feel so bad, I'm not saying you will because you're on the exact same journey as me, but if you are trying to get better, you care too much about the rate at which you're moving. Because the problem is when we start doing better, right? We're proud of ourselves, as you should be. So we start telling other people. We start talking to other people about what we've been doing, what has helped us, what we want to do going forward. And suddenly, as soon as you do that, you have cursed yourself. Because you are right back at the beginning of you've created a version of yourself now that you're trying to constantly upkeep, right? You're constantly trying to show people that you are what you say you are. But that shouldn't be the goal. The goal should literally just to be what you do, not what you say. Right? Everyone tells lies. Some people, I've told lies where there was no reason to tell a lie. I just did it because, And you get this sense of shame when you do that, right? Because you feel like you're tricking other people. And most of the time you think that people can see inside your mind. They can see exactly what you're thinking, what you're feeling, how how you perceive them, how they perceive you. You think they have all this info about you, right? But if you were to ask me about my one good friend, right? Now, objectively, unfortunately, I think he's a pretty terrible person, right? But if you were to ask me like, how's he? I'd say, dude, he's amazing. I love him, right? Because people aren't, especially your friends, if you have a good group of friends or good family members, and if unfortunately you don't, then I'm sorry, but if you do, they won't care about the bad shit that's going on with you, right? They just won't. I don't. So if I don't, I assume they don't, right? And if they do, then shame on them. And I'll learn that one way or another way, and I'll move on, right? You are at the epitome of your life. And people seem to forget that, right? They want to live like someone else, or they want to impress this person, or, they want to get these good grades so they can show their mother or even their friends so that they have bragging rights. Everything in this world is so ego-driven. Like at my uni, I'm just like, I'm speaking to people and I'm conversing with them, and I just get the sense that they are just pieces of shit, right? But they're not pieces of shit, right? I talk to them. They're nice to me. They help me. They want to help others. But I could see now so clearly that they are so infatuated with themselves. Oh, I love that word, infatuated. And it's a shame because it's you have these two different views of the same person where everything they do, whether it be good or bad, is just tainted, right? It's like it's bittersweet. It's what I've noticed. Now, I've completely forgotten the point of this video, and I don't know why I even record videos like this long, because no one watches until the end. But who knows? I'm just gonna comment this. Please watch until the end. And if you watch this far, Genie. I love my cat. If you watch this far, then high five. I don't want to hit my camera. I feel like I could have been talking for a lot longer, but I'll leave it for tomorrow. Okay, cheers, guys.